And there you get a look at Vinny Pazienza's battered and beaten right eye as we start round number 9. Dave, how do you see it scored through 8?
Garza's starting to pull ahead. He's got a 77-74 lead.
Pazienza needs a strong finish. He did hurt Garza in the middle rounds a little bit, but Pazienza had a point taken away in round number 6, and that seemed to turn things back to Garza.
Major turning point as far as how effective Vinny Pazienza was with his aggression.
And we heard Kevin Rooney at the in-between round marks say to Pazienza, you're thinking negative thoughts. You've got to think positive. Good shoulder block by Pazienza.
And this is the problem with the smaller man. It's something he's had to do a lot tonight. When you cannot jab or weave your way inside, fighters get impatient and they do the unnatural method.
I know what it's like for Loreto Garza to be looking across at this Tasmanian devil with the face battered, and he just keeps on coming at you.
The way Garza looks at fights, it's probably just a target for him. He has not lost his composure at all, and not been anxious about the cut either.
I'll tell you what. Now looks like there may be a nick under the left eye of Pazienza, and blood coming out of the nose. You know, it's interesting for Garza. He fought Koji in a counterpuncher's delight as Pazienza is spun into the ropes. And now he's brawling with Pazienza. Good right hand by Pazienza. Oh, and another right hand.
He's got to throw these punches all the way from Providence.
This is his only chance to win. Can Garza stay away and not get baited into this? And even fans behind us yelling out, Garza fans, you got a jab. They know the story. Bombs away as we come to the end of round number 9. Pazienza and Garza. Can Pazienza get close? Well, Loreto Garza has shown he can box, and he's been willing to slug a little bit with Vinny Pazienza. Let's listen to his corner.
Real dip. That might real slow, babe. All right, come on, one stage. Don't be getting hit now, huh? We're winning the fight. All right, just box. Deep breath. 10th round coming up. Okay? Got on both eyes now, Loreto. Come on now. Keep the jab out there and make him miss you. You understand? Yeah, water, friend.
Let's look at Pazienza's bombs.
Trying to come back late. That was a good right hand right after he'd been wiping the blood. Garza reacts just enough not to be dominated in the situation.
That is the face of Vinny Pazienza, and he's one of the few guys that would keep coming at you.
Guys like him earn every penny.
Vinny Pazienza's face, battered and beaten, cuts under the right eye, cut alongside the left eye, blood everywhere. And we start round number 10 of this scheduled 12-round bout. Can Pazienza take away Garza's championship? If Garza doesn't use his jab like he stopped in round number 9, it could be a short reign as his title holder.
If Vinny Pazienza wants to take the title, he's got to take the writing implements away from the judges, because it's been Garza's fight on paper.
guess right now it doesn't matter. He needs a knockout to win. I think referee Rosadia took away a point there.
He did put the finger up there to indicate taking it away.
Tell you what, Loreto Garza will never forget this one.
Garza has shown a lot regarding versatility. The counter punching against Koji because that was necessary. Here, a workmanlike effort from the outside. When Pazienza charged, he was able to do enough on the inside. Very versatile fighter, stays within his limitations.
Despite being the champion, this fight may be the one that puts Loreto Garza on the map.
But Pazienza usually brings out the best in his opponents. He certainly did against Camacho. And here he's showing all the tools that Garza has.
Under a minute to go in round 10.
Loreto here at the Arco Arena. Vinny Pazienza's face tells the story. Final seconds of round 10. Loreto Garza continues to frustrate Vinny Pazienza. Frustration has been the word this evening.
Oh, they can see you, Larry. There, for Christ's sake. What are you?
Vinny, you gotta stay in close. You gotta stay in close. No water? You gotta stay in close and Bob Marino come up punch in the hole. Let Bob Marino come up punch. And long shot. You can know what he's got. Can't pull out. Can't pull out. Get down.
Well, for the second time in the fight, it looks like Pazienza loses a point. Let's see why here.
Well, he's got the hands around Garza and he's pulling him toward. A little blatant, but still probably not winning the point.
Well, referee Larry Rosadini, and I'm not saying that that's necessarily the difference in the fight, as the Pazienza corner tries to pump him up, but he is taking away 2 points.
And he's done them at the wrong times. The most flagrant offenses, he misses, and then almost to make up for it, he takes away points in non-crucial situations.
Round number 11 underway. Dave, how do you have your scorecard?
Well, now 97-92, with the point being taken away. Garza very comfortably ahead.
Pazienza has 2 rounds to score a knockout. Blood all over his face. Garza has remained relatively unmarked. Wow. Now Vinny's left eye is bothering him. He's pawing at the blood. And they may stop this.
That's the first sign that will encourage a referee to step in. When a fighter starts to show that he's bothered.
Pazienza told to get his hands off the ropes.
And for Vinny Pazienza, this has been the Mayweather fight all over again. A difficult reach.
In his trademark, Pazienza continues to come forward, but the jab of Loreto Garza and the accuracy too much.
You see what a fine technician he is by using his reach. A lot of fighters have reach and are not able to utilize it, but he does. Pazienza can do here is try to lure Garza into a mistake because he's not scoring.
Vinny Pazienza's father, Angelo, sits quietly ringside. Not much you can do. Look at Garza work.
This is the one style that's the nightmare for every short fighter.
Will there be a 12th round? Referee Larry Rosadia looks like he wants to stop this. Pazienza comes forward. Pazienza trying to get away from the punches of Garza, and now trying a body slam as we come to the end of round 11. That's it. Referee Larry Rosadia has stopped it. Loreto Garza defends his WBA Junior Welterweight Championship. It was a masterpiece by Garza, but Dave, why was it stopped?
Bob, I was just about to say Garza should lose a point for putting Pazienza in a headlock and turning him. That is a bizarre stoppage. Fortunately, it has no effect on, well, Vinny Pazienza would have had one more round. He was hopelessly behind in the scorecards. But that's like the third bad call tonight.
Let's watch it again. Let's take another
Garza
look.
coming forward. Watch Garza grab Vinny Pazienza and get him in a headlock. And what does he get for it? Pazienza gets stopped. What do you call that? A headlock TKO?
I tell you what, I'd like to hear from referee Larry Rosadia. He took 2 points away from Pazienza during the fight. And here's another angle. You'll see Garza put Pazienza in the headlock.
Watch the headlock. There he's got him. Rosadia comes in, and here's where Garza should lose a point, and Pazienza loses the fight.
Not that Vinny Pazienza had a chance on the judges' scorecards. He would have needed a knockout in the 12th round.
And even without the points being taken away, he loses this fight. But it's still not good what happened there.
I mean, Pazienza very game in this fight. And as always is the case, he gave it his all. But let's face it, Loreto Garza was the better fighter. He showed that he can not only box and counterpunch and jab, but he could slug it out with you.
He can slug it out with you. He will not lose his composure in front of the hometown fans. He's versatile, poised, level-headed, and smart.
Right here.
So Loreto Garza becomes the first American since Aaron Pryor in 1983 to defend the WBA Junior Welterweight Championship. The fans at the Arco Arena enjoyed what they saw as they give a round of applause. Vinny Pazienza with his warm-up on and towels over his face. And I'm sure he'll be making a trip to the local hospital. His face is battered. And there is Loreto Garza, relatively unmarked. And what a very, very, very efficient performance by Garza.
And you see just nice satisfaction, no jubilation. He fought the fight the same way, reacted to the victory the same way. Very poised.
Well, you know, a lot of people, when they look at Loreto Garza, they said, who was he? He won his title in Nice, France against Koji. But I think Loreto Garza is now on the map as far as national exposure with this win over Pazienza.
Showing Bob that he can win all different ways. And really, not being goaded into the slugfest Vinny Pazienza wanted.
And these two guys had a mutual respect for each other as you get a look at Garza's wife, Olga. And they both take a victory lap around the ring. And this is one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Loreto Garza, the 28-year-old from Sacramento, improves his record to 28-1-1. There is his wife, Olga. And Garza with a very, very efficient effort. Talking about being the champion. And the former IBF lightweight champion, Vinny Pazienza, really wanted this one, and it'll be a long flight back to Providence.
Came in, Bob, as the underdog. The style was not made for him. He tried to get inside, but Garza utilized the reach well.
So Vinny Pazienza trying to cover up the scars, but he has nothing to cover up by virtue of his effort. He gave it his all, and this fight was stopped at the end of round number 11. Garza the winner. So in case you joined us late, Juan Koji in our first bout of the night came up with a victory in a late substitution, 7th round knockout over Alberto Alcazar. And Loreto Garza defends his WBA Junior Welterweight Championship, stopping Vinny Pazienza at the end of round number 11. Here now with the official time of the stoppage and description is our ring announcer, Jim Hall.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee stops this contest at 2:59 of the 11th round. Winner by knockout and still the WBA Junior Welterweight Champion of the world, Loreto Garza.
And he gets to wear the belt once again. Loreto Garza with his 28th win. The first American to retain this title since Aaron Pryor back in 1983. From Bedlam in the ring here at the Arco Arena, Vinny Pazienza suffers the 5th loss of his professional career. And Dave Bontempo is working his way to the middle of the ring with the champion, Loreto Garza. Dave?
Okay, Bob, Loreto, very patient effort for you. Do you think the patience was the key to the fight for you tonight?
Oh, yeah, you know, Vinny, he's a tough competitor. I knew that coming in. But I knew if I took my jab, I'll cut him up. He's been cut almost every fight. So I knew if I just keep hitting him, he'll eventually cut. But he's tough, and he can take pretty shot. My right hand, I didn't throw very often. Had a little tendonitis on his shoulder.
Well, it looked like you were using it a bit as a decoy because of the left hand working for you here, too.
That's right. I had a decoy it, feint it. But I kept my jab up and kept getting in and finally ripped his face up.
The middle rounds of this fight got ugly. What happened?
Well, I wanted to see how he would do inside. And he was rough, tough, trying to push me against the ropes. And I went back to the corner and they said, hey, stick to boxing, use the jab. You're gonna cut up. That's what I did.
In the 6th round, Vinny Pazienza lost a point during the inside struggle. Do you think that was a turning point as far as the style of this fight?
I think that calmed him down and trying to get wild and hold and punch and elbow and anything else. We were warned in the back with when we got our instructions that the referee wasn't going to accept no dirty stuff. And he knew coming in, and the referee said, hey, right away I'm going to tell you guys. So he did.
Here's your vintage jab working. Take a look at it and tell us about it here.
Well, I had it low, trying to decoy him to come in enough to where I can get my range on him. So I just kept jabbing away. I knew that if I keep hitting that jab, that face has to rip up eventually.
Now, his head was moving a lot. You weren't going for it. What were you keying on?
Well, I knew that if he moves, he was thinking of doing something and then try to come in. I was going to let him do all the moving he wanted outside my range. As soon as he got in my range, then I was going to start out my jab. So that's why a few times he ran around the ring, moving his head out of my range. That's why I didn't throw anything. I didn't want to waste no punches.
What do you think this shows about you?
Well, I think that Loreto Garza now, people know who he is because this is nationwide. And I think also that they're not like, well, he hasn't fought nobody, or he can't fight a puncher, he can't fight a boxer. I fought punchers, I fought boxers, I fought brawlers, I fought them all. And I outsmarted them, outboxed them.
Do you think it's important for people to see not only that you can win with power, but win a fight that really had 3 different styles tonight?
That's right. They say styles make fights. And his style and my style were going to clash. But he had to get inside my jab. And if he got inside my jab, I was letting my right hand go. If he didn't get inside, I was content to throw a jab for 12 rounds.
Okay, Loreto, thank you very much. Congratulations on the victory, and we'll see you again soon. Now we'll take it back to Bob Papa.
Thank you, Mr. Bontempo. Let's look at that left hand and the style of Loreto Garza. He brawled with Pazienza, he jabbed with Pazienza, he boxed with Pazienza, and basically he beat Pazienza to the punch on this Saturday evening in Sacramento. And Loreto Garza, a much-deserved win over Vinny Pazienza, fought a great fight, and Loreto Garza is the WBA junior welterweight champion of the world, and he holds on to the title tonight, stopping Vinny Pazienza. The referee stops it at the end of round number 11. Well, there were some questionable moments in the fight. Referee Larry Rosadilla took away several points from Vinny Pazienza without a warning.